the sun's out or something. And then he said something else, and I was like, where are you from? And he goes, guess. And I was like, New Zealand? And he's like, yeah, bro. And we chatted for a long time. He's like an older guy, like in his 60s probably.
Oh, how cool.
He's been living here since the 80s, and yeah, he was cool. He grew up in Rotorua and Waitomo. He was like exploring the caves as like a 10-year-old and stuff. He told me that one time him and his friends were like exploring like the cave under the post office, and they walked 2 miles in, and then they all dropped their candles and even the matches in like the water of the cave. And so they all turned around and they held hands and they walked back, but they had to walk so slowly they didn't get back until like 2 a.m. in the morning or something. They had been gone since 11 a.m. the day before.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was cool to like speak to a Kiwi. He was a nice guy.
Yeah, well, in the 80s there was all that stuff with Ruatoria and gangs, and it was pretty heavy place back then.
And Rotorua, you mean?
Ruatoria, which is I think east of Rotorua. But it was all around that area. In those days we used to, because from Auckland, of course, we used to think there were savages down there.
Okay.
Did we miss a call last week, or I don't know, I lost track of everything.
No, it's because we do it the second and fourth Fridays. So last month there was 5 Fridays. So
okay,
so
is that
we
what was
didn't have
going on?
And then we missed the first week of this month. So yeah.
I'm so glad that you know what's going on.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I forget, but I haven't missed one yet. So
No, you haven't.
I always
And I'm
remember, whether it's at 10 o'clock or whether it's a few minutes before.
Because we just thought it was every second week, but it's, I suppose we need to read the rules a bit clearer.
Yeah, there was a reason why we didn't do it every second week, but I don't know. It was someone's idea to write that schedule.
Yeah, it's good because you have those couple of long months through the year, and so it's good.
Yeah, well, it's like if you can't remember if it was this week or last week, and the schedule said every second week, then you wouldn't know if it's going to be the next week, But if you didn't know, you could just see, it's every second Friday of every month. Then
yeah, because then everybody would understand that.
Yeah.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's all funny stuff we have to deal with here.
I can't say, well, we would know because we all forget because we get busy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if Debbie knew. She's not here, so...
Oh, she's not answering?
No, I'll see if she's on Facebook online, but she's not here. But sometimes she's a bit late, but I'll just...
Yeah, I think she said she's working, like, the late shift at work, like 2 to 10 o'clock at night. Something like that.
Okay, what is she doing for work?
I'm not quite sure. I think it's labouring.
Oh, okay. She's
for Golden Circle.
Golden Circle?
Do you remember Golden Circle? Pineapple?
The produce. They do kiwi fruit, I think.
Yeah. That Golden Circle.
Okay. So
I spoke to Chris on email, but it was very, very brief, and asked him how he was going with the new you, but didn't much answer me on that. And I've got a lady at work who calls me Nunu. Hey, Nunu, how you doing? I go, it's new you. Hey, Nunu.
Oh, it can be Nunu. That's cool. I like it too.
That's what she calls me now, Nunu. But yeah, she's singing the new you. I don't think she's ever going to stop now. Um, she said to me she was having horrific nightmares. And I said, nightmares? And she said, no, horrific nightmares. And she says, I just can't sleep anymore. And she said to me, have you got anything to help me sleep? I think she was that desperate. And I said, yeah, it's really easy. You just sing New You You and ask Reba Sartars, whatever your issue is with, your sleeping. And I said, you should have a good night's sleep. Sing it 10 to 15 minutes before you go to sleep and 10 to 15 minutes when you wake up. Well, she says, I'll try anything. So she sang it that night and she said she had the best sleep she ever had in years. No nightmares, anything. Amazing, eh?
Yeah, it's wonderful. I heard you. On the call the other night with.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
was that recorded?
No, but
Oh,
Ava
okay.
Ava called Kelsey, and so we listened to like the second hour or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
was up.
that's really cool. Yeah, how it works. It like surprises me every time in a way. But then again,
Yeah.
look at myself when I first started singing it, and it was so cool. It was just like, wow, because the real side, I always knew it was there. I just never really paid too close of attention to it. And then when you focus, and the new you, it really connects you with your intent. And your intent, your real intent is your real awareness. But if you once and when you learn, a little bit of the knowledge that we're sharing, when you learn that, and then you sing the new you, and you can begin to perceive from your real awareness, and then you put your physical body down, of course you're going to have new experiences on the real side. Or it's kind of like Kevin put the other day, where you can often recall what your personal self is like capable of like seeing, so
Mm.
yeah, so that's how it really opens up, because yeah, once your intent is with your real awareness, which is just to be like the sun shining, then you're able to see more. So like you can just perceive more of the endlessness life is. It's really, really cool, and it's awesome to get all these confirmations from people about the new you. It's so cool, and then we can share it with more people, and more
Yeah.
people can wake up and become more aware. Yeah.
Especially when they know nothing about it, absolutely nothing about it. And just to say those couple of words, and sing it for that long, and all of a sudden, your whole life has changed. Like for her whole life, I mean, for me as well, my whole life changed. My whole life has changed. It's unbelievable. And it changes everything, like even the atmosphere in your home or wherever you are, and in your being. I mean, who cares if you got thyroid problems? Have you heard about the thyroid?
Oh yeah, but yeah, I mean everything's got a problem in today's world. Every body part,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
to
And
some degree. But yeah,
people can be beyond cranky and beyond, you know, um, angry, and beyond all these emotions that we're tap line to. And a lot of people don't know how to deal with them, and they can't control them within themselves. And when you sing the new you, and it's got to be something consistent, because, when you are repairing something, it's a journey. It's not just a one-off event. You start to see your life change, and that's just in the physical. So obviously, it's changing on every level. It's incredible to be able to have that in your life and witness it, and then and you want to share it with people, and then they start telling you about it and how they're experiencing it, and they can't quite grasp how this can be real. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, they have to hit themselves a bit, and is this real? And then they stop because she lost the song I sent over to, Eva singing with the birds. So I think she tested it out, which is quite good. I mean, you've got to test things out. And obviously her dreams came back, and then she, asked me for it back, so I got it for her. And she won't stop doing it now. And it's all at work. Good morning, new you. See you, everyone. New you. And it's awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool. It really is, like it's just so cool to be able to share something that's so real, it just makes sense, and anyone can do it, and
Exactly.
and it's just like test it for yourselves. Like it might sound really crazy, but that's because the whole world is crazy, and you're indoctrinated to think that what's possible is what you see with your dumbed down senses and awareness on the earth. But realistically, anything is possible, and singing a song is very easy. And but the thing that the song can do is, like I said, connect you to your real awareness, which is just like, it's beyond the impossible. It's just perfect. It's this free being of real light, just a ball of light and sound, and you can do anything and imagine anything you want. But here in creation, when we have cause and effect, and so you have the option, the ability to do things here, and learn from the causes and then the effects of what you're doing. And that's just in creation, but in that process, the whole idea is to wake up to your real awareness. So once you start seeing the new you, your real awareness comes in, and then it's so cool, because once your real awareness comes in, you become detached from the personal self and the created worlds of everything, because they're all really here and now. And you can just see it more and more as you pay attention to what people are creating, because like you said, the new you, it affects all the levels, because all the levels are here and now, and the physical is actually the last one that is affected from all your personal self manifestation, because the physical body is just a piece of meat. You have to operate it with the other bodies. And so I'm getting lost with what I was saying there.
Yeah, and excuse me. The reason, I guess, even myself, I became sort of like a bit like, is this real? Is this really happening? Is it real? Is it just a coincidence? It's because when people have prayed to all these gods, the false gods, and they've asked for things, and then they've been told, you're a sinner, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to do all these things, and still there's no answer. And then just to sing the new you for 10, 15 minutes and wake up in the morning knowing you've had a good night's sleep, just like that. Nobody said you were a sinner. Nobody said you had to pray incessantly. Nobody said that there were all these rules and regulations. It worked immediately, and we're not, I mean, that is something that keeps, you become awestruck with, really, especially when you're a bit older and you have tried all these things, and you start to realise they don't work. Maybe there's other things that they're lying to us about as well.
Yeah, and that's where it comes down to the person's choice. All we can do is prevent it, because some people, maybe they can see with their real awareness or intuitively that the new you is going to work. But by the fact that it works, people have
Exactly.
people have to
Yeah.
face themselves, and people are not ready to do that. A lot of them, they want to stick with their lives exactly the way they are. And just by doing something slightly artistic, and like singing the new you, because most people don't really sing unless they're going along with the lyrics to some mind control music. But if people actually sing it, they would get, you know, they would get the experience, and then they could face themselves. They're going to see what they're not seeing about their lives, and then from there you can see what makes sense. But in the process, you have to face and look and see, look and see what you've been creating. And people, they don't want to do that because they've been agreeing to this mind control stupid planet. So
Yeah.
yeah, but there are people out there that do want to step up, so that's cool too.
Yeah, it's awesome. And yeah, so the next step is see how she's going next week, because the interesting thing is I got a feeling that obviously we know what nightmares are and stuff like that, but also I had a feeling that there might have been like entities and things around where she's living, because she lives in units and things like that. Well, I've been making those tensor rings, right? The continuing saga of the tensor. And so I just asked her if she would like to try them out for me and give me a review after a while, after she'd been using the tensor rings, and let me know how they worked for her or not worked for her. So she said, yeah, that's okay. Well, yesterday, I mean, she's not, this is on the chat at work, and she goes, hey, Nunu, guess what happened to me? Something horrible. And I go, oh, what was that? And she goes, my tensor ring has gone missing. And she said she put it under, because I said to her, just put it under the cushion of a chair, wherever you sit for long amounts of time, or you can put it under your mattress or whatever, it's still going to work. You don't have to wear it, And she says, I'm going to have to, I said, well, that's interesting, especially if things don't go missing in your house. And she goes, no, nothing ever goes missing. She goes, but it's totally disappeared. I'm going to have to turn the house upside down. Well, I haven't heard from her yet, so I guess it's gone. So this is really interesting, I think. So
Yeah,
yeah,
sounds like she's got some funny entities hanging around.
yeah, that's what I thought. And the new you is really just like opening her eyes. I mean, I don't want to scare her or anything like that, but
Yeah, well, one thing that's fun that you can do is you can ask the fairies to bring it back.
oh, really?
Yeah, I have this friend. He's pretty intuitive, and so one time I lost my passport. I really didn't know where it was. I knew I had taken it out of the house. I didn't know which store I had left it at. I went to a few places. I called them all. I went back to them all. I couldn't find it. So I asked my friend, and I was like, "Yeah, do you know where my passport is?" Because he's pretty intuitive. And he said, "I asked the fairies to bring it back." And so I sang the New You one night, and I talked to the fairies, and I was like, "Can you bring my passport back?" And then a few days later, I was I don't know, I was going through some of my clothes, like I forget which pocket I found my passport in, but it was something I hadn't worn for like 3 or 4 months or something, and it was only a week or two after I lost it. So that was
That's
pretty cool.
awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Ah, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a bit of fun. Just see what happens. Yeah. Because we can talk to these beings there, but people don't even realize it. It's like,
No, because we're so arrogant in our
they're-
three-dimensional,
yeah.
world. Yeah.
Yeah, we're so dumbed down. Like there are people out there who go out and they focus together and they clear chemtrails out of the sky just with their minds. And we can all do it, but it's just a matter of focusing and actually doing it. So yeah, just like talking to the other beings that we don't see here physically with our physical eyes doesn't mean they're not right beyond the in the astral right there. And so because we used to be able to perceive the astral more so sometime, but then we just wanted to experience a more denser place in life, and so here we are. But the elementals, they could do both, but then eventually they were driven out of this physical place because, it's like the witches were getting burned and things like that. So
The witches who weren't real witches, they may have been healers or.
well, there may have been witches too. Who knows?
Mm. Yeah, well, there's plenty of them around these days, aren't there?
Uh-huh. Yes, we do know some.
Quite famous ones. Yeah, people don't realise who they are, but I just like to keep my mind clear of that and just focus on the real stuff, like I've been putting these, I don't know the name of them. Anyway, I found this guy in our local market and his property's been closed down because they're going to put a bypass road through his property. And he has a landscaping nursery, but he doesn't sell, to the public. He sells wholesale to landscapers. And me being the nosy me, I said, oh, can I come down and have a look? Because I want different kind of plants in my garden. I found some amazing plants, and they've got to be nice, and they've got to be able to withstand the heat that we have here, because it gets up to 45 degrees. And found these beautiful, beautiful plants. They're all green leaves, and on top they're like pink leaves, but they're not real flowers. But he says they come from the Mediterranean and they really like the heat. And these plants are amazing and they really like the heat. And unfortunately, he's kind of neglecting, his wholesale nursery. And he's got some beautiful plants there. So I've just gone and bought 5 of these plants off him before they all die. And I thought, well, they're just really nice to look at, And then when you mentioned the fairies, I thought, yeah, the fairies are really going to like these plants.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, you just support them and they support you. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just putting them in the ground, watering them, and then, they're just looking amazing because they love the heat. And the sun here is just really intense, as you could imagine. And I don't know what it's like over there where you guys are.
Oh, yeah, we're in the desert. It gets pretty hot here in the sun.
Oh, okay. So you're in the desert too.
Yeah, it's just like it's like a desert surrounded by a concrete jungle or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, sounds lovely.
Uh-huh.
Especially coming from we're Raglan.
Well, we're only a block from the beach, so it's pretty cool in that respect.
Yeah, yeah.